auto, the top of the auto, and there are a lot of shadows here also. Don't worry about this being very precise. It is not that you have to connect all the branch getting, and lot of interest we are getting in the focal element. So this is the subject that we are going to paint today, okay, and we will be making a very simplified version of this. We will, if you look very closely, there are a lot of things. We will try to simplify it, okay. We will only try to do the major shapes, and then we will give some details. And one thing that we are missing in this is the lack of vehicles and lack of people around. So there is it's a very empty road kind of thing. Maybe it is a photo taken during these corona days. So we will try to add some vehicles and human figures in it, so that it will be creating some interest. So it will be always a good idea to add a sufficient amount of figures into your work, whether it is landscapes or streetscape. Particularly that is important in streetscape, because an empty street may not always look that good, right? So let us we will try to add some figures and maybe one or two vehicles. Okay, we will probably add a car or maybe some auto rickshaw and some people. I am using a small size, approximately A4 size paper, and the paper used is Chitrapat Indian handmade paper 300 GSM. And regarding the paint, we will be using Camel artist quality watercolors. When we talk about the composition, see the composition, you please don't overcomplicate the concept of composition. Don't try to apply all the guides, all the rules and all the guidelines into a single image. So it may not be, it will be very, very tiresome if you try to do that. See, ultimately what we want is, we want to make it look appropriate, or make it look visually appealing. In this particular image, this is the corner, this is the area where I am planning to get most of the focus. And if you really cut down some of the bottom area of this might come at the 1/3 point. If you follow the rule of third, this particular line comes on maybe 1/3 horizontally, and if you crop the image maybe up to this, okay, then if you divide it into vertically 3 portions, this will come approximately it will approximately follow the rule of third, and it will find on the grid. So it is this area we will try to focus more, and we will try to put a couple of people here, okay, and maybe a vehicle around this area, so that this area will get most of the attraction, and the rest of the area, maybe the building and other things, will be made in a very simplified form. Maybe this leaves, we will try to make some contrast using this extension of the tree or the foliage, so that it will help in for the eye movement. Okay, so if at all you follow the shadow and the attention goes here, then this will help in retaining the attention back. And we will also put some of these cable and wires to get the depth, the necessary depth. This gives the road direction, gives a good amount of depth. We will try to enhance that depth by the cables and wires, and maybe we will make some directional lines also to get the depth better. Okay, and at the far end we will make lighter tone to get the depth, and towards the near end, near the foreground, we will try to make it more colorful. The other thing is this: if you take the frame of this particular thing, it looks too much narrow, too much longer. So I will be cutting off some portion from here. Somewhere from here I will be cutting it. Okay, so I will be cropping it so that it is proportional to the paper. So whatever frame you are taking, that should be proportional to the paper. Usually for my drawing I use 2B, but since the camera has to capture the darkness, the pencil marks, I am using little more softer pencil. Let us try to make some quick diagram and See, the drawing is not very detailed. Okay, the drawing is not very detailed. I am trying to make the big shapes. Okay, I am trying to make the big shapes. Okay, and this is somewhere at the bottom. Okay, and there is something more. Some distant stuff are there. The camera may be a little bit shaking when I draw. I think that is okay. And when it comes here, there is something at this point. Okay, there is some kind of an extension here. Maybe we'll slightly extend it, make it little bit more colorful. There is a kind of shield here, and there is a kind of a board. Okay, I'll try to make this should be a little bit kind of an attraction, so I'll make it little bit in detail. Okay, this is a kind of little bit of an attraction here. Okay, maybe we'll make some couple of people here. Okay, and I'll not draw too much of details for the people and other things. The major geometric shape I will be drawing now, and the other things I'll not be drawing. And there is a kind of a board here which I will probably draw. Anything that is around this area, I will draw it little bit more in detail, and maybe I'll make a kind of maybe an auto rickshaw here. Maybe this is something that we are adding from our pocket. Okay, this much is the attractive area. And the other thing, maybe there are some distant stuff here. Okay, a lot of things here. Okay, so this area is little bit crowded. Rest other things are just kind of a silhouette. I think you understand what is meant by silhouette. Just a kind of a wash we will make, and there is a kind of a window which maybe we will make little bit attraction. Okay, and at this point, there is another something. Maybe we'll make something here. Okay, I don't know what we are going to make here. We'll make something here, and maybe this area looks a little bit blank. Maybe here we will make some kind of a car or something. Something we'll make, and we may make a couple of people here. Okay, it is little bit congested for the size of the paper, and let us see how does it work. This is the focal area. Okay, this person may be riding a cycle, this an auto, and the board, some details here, and the other things are just to fill the area. That's it. So maybe what the colors I will be using is for this, the board and this area, I might use some gamboge color, and I might use some orange, red, etc. And here I might use some burnt sienna and a touch of red maybe, and some yellow ochre color for some of these buildings, and for the sky I will use cerulean blue, and for the distant one I might add touch of violet or something to make it little bluish, and for the distant road maybe a dull violet, blue violet gray sort of thing, and I will make it a more kind of a road color as we come forward. Very pale wash of cerulean blue. Okay, some very pale wash of cerulean blue. I am not going very detailed, okay. Very pale wash of cerulean blue, and maybe I'll make it a little bit of clouds. I'll leave some white for a little bit of clouds, okay, and I'll just bring it down, that's it. Not very precise kind of drawing, just trying to fill it. And the distant building also I have covered with the kind of blue wash. Maybe this also I will do some kind of this kind of a wash, okay, because these are somewhat far away, and maybe some kind of a color variation maybe I'll do for some of these clouds, okay. To save some drying time, what I would do is that I will do some suggestion for this particular yellow stuff, and maybe some of this red color stuff I will make, so that by the time we reach the building this too will be dry, and we don't have to wait for drying time. So what I am planning to do is take some thick this is reasonably thick gamboge color and a touch of orange, okay, reasonably thick gamboge and orange I am mixing, and I am just adding it here, okay. I am adding it here so that we get it, we don't have to wait too much of time, too much of drying time, okay. So that is what it is. And what I will do is this area I will make little reddish, because it is not that reddish in the reference, but I wanted to make it little bit colorful, maybe reddish here, to get some kind of an attraction, overall attraction, okay. And even I will extend some of this red to down, so that this will look like some reddish shadow sort of thing underneath. I am taking a little bit care not to spoil the yellow there, okay. And actually speaking, the board above is red. If that also becomes red, I think that will be little. So I'm changing the color for that board. I am making it little bit of maybe cerulean blue. Maybe I'll make it little bit of cerulean blue and little bit of white mixed with the cerulean blue, and I will add this, okay, just to make some, this area I want it to be little colorful, okay. So hope that that makes sense to you, okay. Now let us make the other things, okay. For the distant stuff, make some grayish violet or grayish blue. When I say grayish violet or grayish blue, you mix blue and some brown. I mixed a little bit of blue, that is cobalt blue, and little bit of burnt umber I mixed, okay. And maybe I am using that for the distant buildings and all those things, okay. It is done in a very suggestive way, okay, not very detailed, okay. And we have to paint around this auto and other things. We need these things to be covered. Okay, this is very much lighter in color. Maybe if you want you can even lift up some colors, because here it is a good idea to keep it little uh, softer in nature. And I think we can extend this, okay, and we can extend this color and make the road now. Okay, we can make the road now. Okay, for the road, let us mix some blue, maybe a little bit of violet. This looks too much of blue to me. Maybe I will mix a little bit of some contrary color. It is a muddy road sort of thing, so I am making a little bit of maybe that is too much darker. So this is supposed to be the road. Okay, so this is supposed to be the road, and the road there is little muddy color, but I am changing that color to normal a metal road sort of thing. And maybe at this point, maybe I'll make it the muddy effect on the side. Okay. Don't worry too much about the colors, okay? Don't worry, here a lot of shadows will come later. Okay. So I think we are getting we have got the road and the sky and the distant stuff, and maybe what now we need is we need the color for the buildings. So for the buildings, I'll use little bit of burnt sienna. Touch of red and burnt sienna. I'm just filling the color, okay? I'm just filling the color, not worrying too much about the details. Okay, so some darker stuff will come in the foreground, so those things will be better. Little bit of yellow ochre mixed with burnt sienna for this, the distant these things. Maybe I'll change the brush. You have to, whenever you need smaller area, you have to change the brush, okay? You have to change the brush so that you get control. Usually I don't go this much detailed. Hope that is clear. And for this building, again a lighter version. Maybe a lighter version of this color for this building. Usually I paint on a bigger scale. Usually I paint on a bigger scale. This is too tiny for me, but anyway, all these colors are almost same color, so I am finding it little difficult, but let us say now I think we have to start doing some darker stuff. Okay, here there is a darker stuff, so we'll add little violet, some violet stuff, violet or darker stuff here. Hope you are able to, you are starting to get the feel of depth and other things little bit. Okay, now I think this area needs to be little darker, so I am using little bit of dark color. Am I audible? Because it is raining heavily here. I am making little darker color, now, because as it comes down things should be darker. Okay, now as it comes here it should be darker, and even at this point I want this should be little bit darker, and you can leave some white marks here and there, because we will try to define something here. Okay, now we'll have to define the shadow of this area. That area maybe it is raining heavily, so I thought of connecting my headset. Lot of color here, so I will have to lift this color. Okay, some of these can maybe merge something. See, we'll have to keep thinking of the shapes as we go further. We'll have to start thinking of the shape. Okay. So we have to start thinking of the shape, and I am using a little bit of a reddish shadow for this area, because this is red color and I want that little bit of that red shape should be there in the shadow. That is the reason I initially made the wash with the red, and now I am giving the red, and in the process I am doing little bit of negative painting on these shapes. Okay, you have to be a little careful when you do this. And I am kind of merging it. Okay, I am not making it very precise where it meets the ground. Okay, now I think you are getting it. Are you back to Bangalore? Yes, I am in Bangalore only. I am back to Bangalore. Yeah, actually somebody is asking, because I went to my native Kerala and now I am back. Okay, right, now this area also needs to be little darker, and if you remember we discussed that we will make some people around this area, so I am making some space for the people here. just color variation. Okay, don't worry too much about why we are doing certain things here. Just think of them as some color variation. Okay, just looking at the reference and trying to define something. That's it. Here we cannot just leave it empty. Okay, right. I think this is the focal area which we need to give little bit of more focus. Now I think what we need to do now is we have to give some details to the auto that we have defined. Okay, so this is an auto rickshaw, so kind of giving some of its maybe the glasses. Okay, and so some shapes. So you should know the shape of auto, and whenever you make streetscapes you should know the shape of auto, shape of car, etc. You should be pretty confident with those things. Okay, so if you are not confident with the shape of those things, then it may be a little difficult for you to really get those things done convincingly. I'm not very clearly defining those, but with a little bit of accuracy we have to get these shapes. Okay, so this is the kind of an auto. It's little bit, I think you are getting the shape now. Okay, so this is an auto, and maybe we said that we will make some car here, so I don't know whether we can make it properly or not, but let us try to make this as a car. Okay, here let us make a car here. Okay, just a suggestion. Then we will make the people and all we will make later. Okay, so do you have any doubt in this approach? Little bit of darker yellow for the auto, because the auto should have some yellow color, so I am using some thick yellow color, like very thick yellow color, to make this auto, the top of the auto, so that it looks something like an auto. And somewhere here there are some bluish dust bin or something, so we are using little bit of cerulean blue mixed with some other color, and I am making it little bluish. Okay, it doesn't look blue, so I am lifting the color little bit so that it looks blue. Okay, and maybe something here also. Okay, right. I think we are getting this area a little bit. We are covered. See, we need to do a lot of details now. Okay, now what is left out is mainly the details. I'm taking some blue and crimson lake, cobalt blue and crimson lake, little thicker consistency. And I want to define something here. Okay, so I want to define something bigger in this, though it is not as big in the reference. I just wanted to make something big here. Okay, something big. Okay, something to cover this area by a little bit. Okay, just to push the things little bit away, I am doing this. I am taking this step. Okay, and Don't worry too much about all these things, okay? And I think we have to see some droplet fell here. See, we need lot of shadow now. For the shadows I am using whatever color is there, violet and little bit of violet, and maybe making it little purplish, and maybe a little bit of red, blue, little bit maybe mauve kind of thing. Okay. And I am just, see, these shadows are coming from here, okay, and it is coming something like here, and it is going all over the place, okay. And I just wanted to merge all these shadows here so that they kind of are covered in the foreground. And there are a lot of shadows here also. Maybe there are a lot of shadows here also. Shadows are very important thing, so you cannot get rid of the shadow, okay. Shadows should be very clearly dominating. The shadows should be, I would say that the shadows should be dominating. There should be a lot of shadow, okay. Don't worry too much, don't control yourself too much when you make the shadows. Let there be a lot of shadows, okay. And I think I wanted to make some play of light here, so I'm just lifting some of these shadows so that there is a play of light here. Just always try to have a mix of soft and hard edges so that it will give altogether a good visual appeal. I think there are some details now required for the buildings, okay. So we'll go faster now, little bit of faster, and give some details. And maybe I will make some writing on this. I need a very tiny brush. Okay, let the writing be, let us give the writing later. And now I am giving the kind of the window. I am slightly shifting the window now. It was earlier drawn little bit on the right side, but I am making it little bit here. Don't worry too much. Little bit of shadow tones for this. I'm using a little bit of bluish color for this. Okay. Maybe my window came too closer to the edge. Don't worry. Now this window looks a little bit off here, but I think that's okay. We'll do something there. Okay. I will try to see if there is no technical issue. I will post this video. Okay. If there is no technical issue, I will post this video, and I may have to edit it because we have stopped in between. So I may have to merge the two parts and then I will post it. Maybe I will post it by tomorrow, or if not possible, then day after. Okay. Now I think what we are left out is a lot of details are there for the building. So I really do not know whether we really need to give that much of details. So there is something which is vertical here, which is little bit bluish. Okay, I'm just trying to make some pattern here. Okay, it is not really required, but there is something here. So don't worry too much. Okay, just making this color and little bit of lifting it, just some suggestion. Okay, I think that is sufficient for the buildings. Now let us make some architectural details for the buildings. So take a very narrow brush, liner brush, take some thicker consistency paint. Maybe I will mix it with little darker colors, thicker consistency paint, and make some lines. And while doing that, ensure that you are following the rules of those perspective. Okay, so those things you will have to follow a little bit. Okay, I'm not worrying too much about all these things. See, it is not that I wouldn't say that this is all very important. Okay, because all these things will get covered by the cables and other details, so don't worry too much about making it very precise. Okay, just make something, that's it. Just make something. Okay, just to give some details, and that's it. Don't worry too much about these things. Some colorful steps in between. Okay, now I think what we have done is pretty much okay. What we have to do is all the cables and the the wires, cable, telephone, this electric pole, and all those things. Okay. This is a directional line which will give some depth. Okay. Now what we need is a lot of cables. For the cables, what I would say is that take a liner brush. Okay, take a liner brush and take some thicker consistency paint, and what you have to do is just make the pole. Okay, just make the pole, and just be little bold. Don't worry too much about all the details. Okay, be little bold. And just make those cables. Don't worry about this being very precise. Nobody will really look at those. They should all, it should appear that it's all going somewhere. Okay, it should all be connected. Okay, it should all be connected, and a lot of wires can come. Don't worry too much. Let us take some olive green. Okay, olive green color, and mixing that with some darker color, whatever is already there with me, olive green, and make some big leaves. Okay, it is all big leaves in here. if you look at this reference, it's all big leaves. Okay, it is also covering some of these cables and all, so don't worry, just paint. It's almost covering this area. Don't worry about going bold. Okay, be bold in watercolor. You have to be confident. Otherwise, your work will not be looking confident. If you are worried, then it will not look confident. It is very bold brushwork now. Okay. You can see that in the reference also it is really bold. Okay, so just make some bold brushworks. Okay. Make some darker color also. And I think this is okay, and we cannot fully cover the paper. Some sky has to be seen through, so we cannot fully cover it, but this is reasonably, I think we are done with the details. Some thicker consistency paint we have to take, and we have to maybe connect these all with some kind of branches. Okay, you cannot just leave it hanging. Okay, it is not that you have to connect all the branches, all the leaves. You don't have to connect with the lines, but there should be a general feeling that there is something which is connecting this leaves. Okay, so you don't have to really connect all these lines, but there should be a general idea that it is all connected. The leaves should look connected. Okay, what now we need is see, a little bit of writing we need on the boards and all. It doesn't look good otherwise without any writing, so I am using some thick colors. See, any further details that we are going to give, they all should be a little thicker in color, because then only it works. Okay, so there is something written here. You don't have to properly write. Okay, you can just make something here as if something is written. And on this also there is something. Okay, something. Don't worry too much about what those things are. I think what we are left out now is we need some people. Okay, we haven't made the figures yet, so maybe some cute figures we'll make. Okay, so don't worry too much about the figures. Okay, maybe this could be a figure. He could be a figure. Somewhere if you find some gap, try to make those as figures. Okay, and there could be another guy here. Is coming here. There could be. Now it is just adding something. Don't worry about the figures too much, okay? If you worry too much, it will not come out. Maybe I'll take out some direct orange to make the faces, suggest the faces, okay? So that is a face, and maybe he is looking front, and he has a face, he's looking to the side, and there could be somebody else also here and there. So I think mostly I am done. Okay, so maybe something here we can just smudge. Okay. What I would do as the last touch is I will take some pure white color, okay, and I will give the highlight, some of the highlight to these figures, so that they look little bit little pronounced, okay, little bit of as if they do little bit of pop-up. Okay. There are something here, maybe. Yeah, I think we are done now. I'll just sign it. I'll just sign it, and then we'll close it as done. We'll declare that this is done. Actually, you don't worry too much about the colors, okay? You think about the mostly rather than color mixing, you think about the tones and the overall color harmony sort of thing. So see, already you just think of what are the colors that are there on the paper, and whenever you add a new color, which color will look good and what makes it visually interesting, rather than worrying about the color mixing theory and all. You think of what color suits well for the context. Okay, that is based on your visual a visual sense needs to be developed, and I think that visual sense will get developed as you do more and more painting. Okay, I hope this was this is reading well. You see, this is the area where most of the details are there. I think this area is reading well. This is what is the focal element. This is where most of the focus goes, and the other things are just a simplification. Okay, it is just some kind of a big shapes. That's it, right? Hope it was informative and clear instruction. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted though it yeah, this is the final image. I think it is reasonably we got a reasonable amount of depth. Okay, that is the depth we are getting, and lot of interest we are getting in the focal element. It is almost at it is almost respecting that rule of third. It may not be exactly. See, these rules are just guidelines. Okay, you don't have to really worry too much. Okay, and I think it is reasonably reading well. I'll try to keep giving this live demonstration whenever possible. Okay, and most likely I will give it on Wednesdays and Sundays in the evening. Okay, Wednesdays and Sundays in the same time. So if I am inspired, I might come in between also. I might give a short notice and I might start. In any case, I will try to kind of give a short notice, and I will try to post it in IGTV if there is no technical issues. See you soon. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.